Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be talking to you about something that I've never really talked about before. I always wanted to make a story time about it, but I just thought I couldn't and stuff like that. And I'm finally bringing out a story time because I just thought, why not? This is the time that I was on Ireland's Got Talent. You may never have heard of it, you may have heard of it, but it's been cancelled. After the season that I was on, it was cancelled because of me. I'm joking. They cancelled it because it didn't do well, but it was a TV show and it was on TG3, TG4. It was on an Irish channel, but obviously because this is the north of Ireland, like I don't get those channels. And it was on Virgin Media, and then it did go on Virgin Media in the UK, I believe. Starting off, back in 2017 was the first year of Ireland's Got Talent, and I seen that they were doing, you know, applications, so I applied, just sent in like a singing video and stuff, and I didn't get through the first year, and I was like, right, okay, we'll just try again next year. And then next thing you know, 2018 rolls around and I'm like, okay, right, we're going to apply for this just to see where it goes. And I applied for it, and then we got like a text message to my mom's phone, because I was like, what, 15 at the time. I got a text message to my mom's phone and it was like, blah blah, such and such from Ireland's Got Talent, we'd love to talk to you for a bit. And then we had a phone call with this girl, a researcher, and that was fine, and she invited us to the producer auditions in person, you know what I mean? So like they select a number of people. That meant that September I had to go to the producers audition, which was fantastic. It was really like empty, like they really organized it well. It was very private, and it was like 10 other singers with me, and they were all around the same age. And what me and my mom and dad thought was that this was my competition, you know what I mean, because we were all the same age, and obviously talent shows want certain people for certain parts of the talent show, you know what I mean. Like you don't see hundreds of thousands, you don't see hundreds of singers applying, or you don't see hundreds of singers like actually performing. When it comes to the televised auditions, it's like 1, 2 or 3, you know what I mean. So we were like, they're obviously we're all competing to see who gets to go to the auditions, you know what I mean. And I did my audition, that was fine, blah blah blah. They really liked my shoes for some reason, the Doc Martens, they just really liked them, and I was like, I'm chuffed. And that came and gone really quick. And then about 2 weeks later, I was going to this like charity event for singing anyway, and my mom was like, guess what? I was like, what? She's like, Ireland's Got Talent called. I was like, what? Oh my god. And then I got through the producer auditions to go to the judges, and that was like, that at that time that was like, so, oh my god, that was such a good moment, because I was like, I've applied for Britain's Got Talent before and never worked. None of those talent shows ever seemed to work, and this time it seems like it is working. And obviously like getting to that stage, it was just such, I was like so chuffed. And obviously I couldn't tell anyone. I signed NDAs, you know, signed things that I couldn't say, and I couldn't say at the time, but now obviously it probably expired, the show doesn't even exist anymore. So hi there, it's the next day. It's the next day now, so I look different. My camera died yesterday, so, and I had to like rush out. So I'm going to continue the story. I thought this would change it up a bit for you, make it a little bit more interesting. At this point in the story, I had after the producers and stuff, I had 2 rounds of television stuff to do for the auditions, and one of them was like a practice type of thing, and that was, I didn't know this until I did it myself, that you know the things like the interviews that happen before your audition, it's like, oh my god, I'm so excited to audition today, I'm so nervous, and that's all fake. It's all, so sorry, that was so dramatic. It's literally that week or that day, the practice day is the day that you get interviewed, because it makes sense, because obviously they have a lot of acts to get through every single day, so it just saves a lot of time that they do these interviews before, because then they can retake them and stuff like that. It makes sense, but no one really thinks of that when they're watching the show. So it was a big shock to me when that happened, but obviously we got like the schedule of what was going to happen anyway, so I knew that was coming. But it was just mad to know that was a thing. And so I got interviewed and stuff, and then other people got interviewed, and then they do like shots of you like with your family and stuff, and then like they have the big room with all the lights and the you know the way there's like, say like for Britain's Got Talent there's like the BGT flashing lights, there's like the IGT for Ireland's Got Talent, there was all that. And it was so good because I don't know, I just loved like being there, and like I met so many like good, like amazing people during that one, because obviously we had a lot more time in our hands. It wasn't as rushed as the next one is gonna be, you know what I mean? So it was really fun and I really enjoyed it, and it was just really long days. It was like a 12-hour day or something like that. It was from like early in the morning anyway, and I had to get up, do my hair and makeup and stuff, and then go to the arena place, and then wait, and then get interviews and stuff like that. And then the end of the day, it was like, I think it was like 6 or 7 at night, I can't remember, but I had school the next day, and I don't know how I still went to school because I had to come back up from Dublin as well. And that was that first part of the that was the first part of the auditions. And then about 3 weeks after that, this was like the start of November, and then the end of November I had the actual audition in front of the judges. And the judges on Ireland's Got Talent are Louis Walsh, Michelle Visage, Denise Van Outen, and then I can't remember the name of the comedian boy, but he's an Irish comedian. Like no disrespect to him, he's obviously famous. I just don't know who he was. I didn't know who he was at the time, which I was like, okay.
Where was she on part of the crew?
The actual day of auditions rolls round, and we went to Dublin the night before and stayed over. Yeah, we did this both times because it just saved us traveling, and we made like trips out of it. We went to like we went to the Intercontinental and stayed, and then we went Christmas shopping because it was obviously Christmas, and then we went to Kildare. Not that this is like so irrelevant, but we like made a day. It was really fun. It was just me, my mum and my dad, like that was really all that was allowed. And the actual day of the auditions rolls around at the end of November, say, and I met the presenter Lucy Kennedy, and she's like a well-known Irish presenter, and she was so nice, and she was really like, everyone loved her because she was just so like chatty to everyone. And this was like, you were there from really early in the morning as well, and then you kind of got your time that you would have been auditioning, and I think mine was around 3 o'clock in the day, 2 or 3, like they brought you in really early so they can do more videoing and more, you know, if your interview didn't go well, they'll like redo it and stuff, they'll do retakes before you actually go out on stage, which was kind of stressful because I was like, I wish I could have just like went in and got it over and done with, but I'm sure everyone was on the same boat, so like it's fine. And they do like more like sitting backstage and all this, and backstage isn't really backstage, it's just rooms up in the arena, you know what I mean? I can't, the 3 Arena, yeah, was it the 3, no, it wasn't the 3 Arena. Oh, I can't even, what was the name of that? Oh my god, Helix. It was the Helix Theatre in Dublin, and the backstage was all camera. I remember, oh my god, it felt like a dream, like literally. Backstage was all cameras, all crew, all like lights and this here, and like backstage wasn't really backstage because obviously backstage of a theatre is small, and then like they don't have these massive rooms. Like obviously it's part of the theatre and stuff, but they've set that up and it's, you know what I mean. So you got like all those, and I remember they made me like, they videoed me in front of these Hollywood lights, like putting on my lipstick or topping up like my highlighter or something, and that was like really fun because like you felt so special. And then like they did videos with like me, my mom and dad, and they like so much videos. And then Lucy Kennedy was talking to me. I'm gonna like cut to the point of my audition now. And I just remember that was like really traumatic, not traumatic, it was just really like, it felt like, you know the way you watch it on TV for so long and then that actually happens, it's like you're in your dream. It was this is so like, I don't know what, it's really weird me saying this, but it just was the weirdest feeling that ever happened. Like, oh, so strange. Like I just thought I was sleeping, and I was so nervous backstage. But then whenever like I was with Lucy and when I was with like Lucy the presenter, and like my mum and dad were like behind her, they were like with her, sorry, my hands are really pale as well, sorry, they were like with my mum and dad she was with my mum and dad, and then I was like beside her, and then she like pushed me on the stage, and I was like, oh jeez, but the camera was right in front of me too, and I was like, oh my god, like I can't really move, but like I could obviously, like she was like, on you go, and the camera was facing me, and then there was all these other cameras like right below, but that camera kind of went away because it couldn't follow me out on the stage, you know what I mean? And it was just such, I remember it was such a long walk to like the star where you have to stand, or like the point where you stand, and I just remember waving to people because it was like, obviously it was a full audience, and yeah, it was really weird. And then there was like the 4 judges, and they said hello to me and stuff, and they asked me questions, and then they were like blah blah blah, like they were lovely and stuff, but that doesn't really matter in the story because they just ask the same generic questions to everyone. Like they do change up their questions, but for the most part it's the same questions for every part. Like they change their questions, but like they end up all being the same, you know, they're all from the same sheet, if that makes sense. And I got 4 yeses. Like that is the thing, I got 4 yeses from every judge. Said it was like whatever, I'm not bumming myself up here, but I got 4 yeses. So obviously you think, oh my god, this is great, you know, I'm through to the next round. You're not through to the next round. That is what the TV thinks, but you're not actually, because when I came off the stage, everyone was like, oh my god, congrats, oh my god, what, oh my god, well done, you must be so happy, oh my god, 4 yeses. Like everyone was cheering, and like, you know, like the crew, and like they were so nice. And then my researcher was the head researcher, and she was like hugging me, be like, oh my god, well done, I'm so proud and stuff. Like they were all so like lovely, like so nice, and it was all like in Southern Irish accents, it was lovely. And then we come out, and then they make me do a video for their Instagram, and then someone was all, just so you know that this next part now is the producers will decide all the yeses and who goes through to the next round, which is the, was it the, oh, that, you know, the next part, you know, this part wasn't going to be on TV, it's the producers cut. So what we got from that is that everyone that gets yeses and gets through goes to this producer stage, and the producers like sit down, and the producers like sit down and go through everyone who got yeses, and they like cut people just like for the TV. They like, but not through, and then they don't get through. So I didn't get through that part, and that was like it was really like a stab, you know what I mean? It's so like cutthroat, like it's that those shows are for entertainment purposes only. Like they probably state that on their credits, like that IGT Limited is for entertainment purposes only, you know what I mean? So it was really cutthroat, and I was what, 15, I was 16, like I was 16, like I'm not that much older, but like it kind of like that really taught me a few lessons, and it really taught me a good few lessons. Like those shows are for entertainment purposes only. I will insert clips that I got, because after this I was allowed to watch the rest of the show from the very highest point, because there was a full audience in the theatre when the show was going on. But the acts, this is what you don't know, so if anyone was in that audience, you don't know this, but the acts that perform, that have just performed, can go up to the very top and watch the rest of the show.
I was confused most of the time, although I did get Gollum, and that's a regional thing, obviously. The Gollum came and I went, I know one! So, but it was good.
Well, thanks very much.
Yeah.
Denise?
I felt like I had my dream spiked. I was a little bit confused. Because you were rushing through it so much and so fast, I just couldn't really understand what you were saying, and I wasn't sure. I had to actually turn and ask the audience, is this funny? Because I couldn't really hear everything that you were saying. It was just rush, jumping from one to the other. You need to slow down a little bit, and so it's understandable with the comedy, because I don't know if there were jokes in there, but they just went over my head.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I pressed the button.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, Carl, you need 3 yeses to get through. So let's see, Louis. Carl, I think potentially you're really
So if you were first on, you could watch the rest of the show. But I was like, I was at the midway point. I got to watch the rest of like the other half of the show. But as well, after my audition, they took me and my mum just to do like a few wee filming bits. And my dad was like, he went on up to watch the show. And me and my mum were like still getting videos after my audition, but they made it look like it was before my audition, if you know what I mean. So I was sitting there knowing I had 4 yeses and being like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. Like, isn't that so fake. It is so fake. I had to be fake, and I'm not fake. Like, I can be a bitch, but I'm not fake. They even videoed me walking around all these lights and stuff with my earphones and listening to Queen, Don't Stop Me Now or something like that there, because I was like on my phone with my earphones and listening to it, pretending I was singing my song, but it was a Queen song, and I didn't even sing a Queen song. I sang, if you wanted to know, I sang Rise Up by Andrew Day. And long story short, my audition never got aired on TV, because that was the waiting game. After the whole auditions were filmed, after I found out that I was cut, or I was not into the next televised round, which is so false, they said that I still could be on TV and they will contact us, and I was never on TV. But I was through those B-rolls and, you know, like the stuff, like the things that happen for auditions. That's how I was on TV that way. And I've never seen my audition, even though it was on all that footage and all that storage of like camera stuff. Never seen it, my interview, never seen, so I don't know what I don't even know what I even look like, but I did see B-rolls and stuff like that. So that was obviously disheartening. It really kind of it was upsetting to know that all that work or that time that we give to that show was never like, I'd see past it if I got a no or if I was a total disaster, but the fact that they even give me 4 yeses and they never seen me in the light of day again. Anyway, so overall my experience was really good, because it taught me so much. It got me a really good insight to these TV shows that I wanted to be on for so long. Like, I mean, I wanted to be on one of those TV shows since I was like 8. I went to Manchester to audition for Britain's Got Talent when I was 8. Little did I know how fake they were at the time, and they're just, yeah, they are fake, and everyone knows that. Like, everyone, there's, you know yourself, there's cringe. They have, X Factor isn't even on this year. It's died out. Like, they need, I think that we need a TV show that teaches you how to grow on social media while you're in the competition. Like YG Entertainment bringing out Blackpink, they have trained for so long, they built themselves, you know, a reputation and stuff. You know, you can't just get famous on those shows anymore, because there's so many other ways to get famous. You know what I mean? I'm going off in another story here, but Ireland's Got Talent was it was a disaster, and it was a disaster for the actual show itself, because they got cancelled after the 2nd season, like, and X Factor's what, running 15, I don't even know how many, but like so many seasons, and Britain's Got Talent has done so many seasons, and Ireland's Got Talent can only manage 2. Anyway, so I hope you got an insight to what this talent show was like. As I said, I will like have clips throughout the video whenever I'm editing this, but overall it was a great experience, and I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I was able to do it, and I was picked, or not picked, but you know, after I audition they have to pick people, so I was obviously picked. But would I recommend you audition for those shows if you want the experience, but don't go in thinking you're going to get famous or this is going to be your career launch, because it's probably, you know, 9 times out of 10 it's not. You can get famous, or you can get, well, you can build your career through social media these days, and through just your own hard work and stuff like that, and then they'll come after you, you know what I mean? So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was very different of me. If you want more story times, I have a lot more story times to do. I might do my experience with London and why I left school from London. Might do that in the next one. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!